Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm Jutta Holtkamp and I am at Ecole Holt Couture, School of Couture Sewing and Design. And I just want to talk to you a little bit today about what it takes to be successful in couture sewing, tailoring, or even dressmaking. What kind of skills and attributes do you need? Well, I'm going to talk about some indicators. They're not absolute, but they are indicators of whether this is the right kind of career choice for you, or whether it's the right kind of training for you. So you ask yourself these questions. Are you able to spend long hours in solitude and you're fully happy with that? Or are you regretting the time that you're not doing something else? If you're fully happy and you're content and you're eager to learn, that's a good indicator that you'll be successful with it. Are you able to have a very high level of focused concentration? Or in other words, are you easily distracted? If you're easily distracted, you will not get ahead very well and you will forget bits and pieces of information. Sewing and couture at this level requires a focused concentration. So if you have trouble with that, you might find it a little bit more difficult. Are you able to work with self-imposed standards and time frames? Are you self-disciplined, or do you need more guidance? Do you need more input? Do you need more stimulation and motivation from others? If you are highly self-disciplined and you don't need other people to tell you what you need to do or how much time you want to spend on something, then you will very likely be successful in this career. Another question or another topic is, are you emotionally resilient? Okay, what does that mean exactly? Are you open to constructive criticism? As artisans and artists, we're often very proud of our work and we don't like to share what we're doing in advance. Writers are like that, musicians are like that. And we put our heart and our soul into our work. So opening ourselves up to invite criticism is very, very difficult. You might be able to relate to this. But you need to train yourself to accept criticism. It's not about you personally, it's about the work that you are producing. And everybody has a different opinion. So that's something else you have to become hardened to is the criticism that you might receive. And everybody has their opinion. But when you get to a point where you know you're doing your best and you are doing a good job, then you can distinguish between what is constructive criticism or whether it's just someone else's opinion and they don't happen to like your work. The approach that we take to it is that this is not a quick fix to a situation where you need to learn a new career very quickly. We look at it as more of a long-term project. We're in this for the long haul. There are several reasons for that. One is lifestyle. This lifestyle that we choose, okay, for one, we've already talked about it. We like to work alone. It doesn't bother us. We don't feel as though we're missing out on life. We can set aside time for visiting with friends and socializing, which is very important. But also this period of time that we work is very important to it. It's crucial to our well-being and also to the success of getting projects done. Are you happy to stand out from the crowd, to stand alone, to swim upstream? Or are you the type of person that likes to run with the pack? You want to be part of the crowd. You want to be with the in crowd. So to talk about that a little bit, if you want to be part of the crowd, you're going to have to run with them all the time. You're going to have to accept the opinions and the status quo as they are and fit yourself in. Now, if you're the type of person that would rather stand out from the pack, let's say, and do your own thing, you have to be very strong and very resilient and very comfortable with the fact that you are not going to be included in the industry in a fashion trend. You might be quite on left field, right field, left field. You're going to be standing on your own and you have to be comfortable with that. That's not to say that others aren't there to support you, but you are not running with the crowd. That is another indicator that you'll probably do very well in couture and tailoring. Are you highly competitive? Which is another question. Now there's two ways of looking at this. Are you competitive with yourself or are you competitive with others? I consider myself to be competitive with myself. In other words, I always want to do better the next time than I did the last time. My next project is going to be better than my last project. I often get asked the question, what is your most favorite project of all time? What did you have the most fun working on? Quite honestly, I have a hard time answering that because I always look forward to the next project. The next project is always going to be better than the one that I did the last time. So if you're competitive with others, we do need a certain amount of that. If we don't have a little bit of friction, there's never any growth. But if you're so concerned about just, beating the next guy and being the better designer or being the top designer, it's great, but it's not very self-fulfilling. It's not very fulfilling for self. Okay. And the other point that I want to talk about, are you able to tolerate a certain amount of insecurity financially and emotionally? In other words, you're not absolutely certain where your next income is going to come from. We need to have a little bit of strength and a little bit of resilience and a little bit of fortitude in that area. Because when you're building a business, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes years. And you may have to have a second job or a third job to fund what you want to do, what's passionate in your heart for quite a while before you can do this on a standalone basis. So if all of those questions are ones that hit home and you have thought about, then I would say welcome to the club.